It's IBC 2023 and we're on the Marquis booth in Hall 7 and I'm joined by Paul. Hi Paul.
Hi Simon.
So we'll get the elephant in the room over and done with first. We've got a lovely award here. What's that for?
Well, we actually won this at NAB back in April.
Okay.
And we won it for a project that we've been working on with Sinclair, Sony and Avid. Mm-hmm. And it was for the best integration of the year. And what we're doing with that is transforming the way, in this case, news production works in a way that we could support 5G networks, working in the cloud, and the big kind of buzzwords are around efficiency, effectiveness, and in a lot of cases, achieving cost reductions, but without eroding the kind of workflows and the output. And in actual fact, with the workflow, we achieve more sophisticated integrations, richer sets of data, higher levels of automation, which is great.
Yeah. So this is from the IABM, so it's a very prestigious award, really.
It is, yes.
Category,
It's quite heavy and it's solid aluminium and perspex.
There we go. Yeah. So back to IBC, what are you talking to people about this year?
Well, what happened was at NAB, the production people started talking to us and said, we understand what you're doing in the news area, why don't you do the same thing in the production space? Because we have exactly the same issues of managing metadata workflows. And so we started to look at that, and that meant we could look at new partnerships and new relationships with other technology vendors. And as example, in a news workflow, you might use iNews, but here we've partnered with Wolftech, and they have a very good cloud-based production planning and a production planning system, which we can integrate in the same workflow but achieve the same benefits for unscripted documentaries and production in general, either based in studios or in the field.
Yeah. So in a nutshell, people that might not have come across Marquis before, give people an idea of a headline of what you do and what you can offer to people.
Well, we usually do all the bits and the difficult pieces that no one else can do. And very often manufacturers will have edge cases, use cases which are quite difficult to integrate, as example with Sinclair. And the end user or the manufacturer may come to us and say, we don't have the capacity or bandwidth to do this. Can you guys do it? Yep. And we'll pick up work and develop new projects out of that kind of thing. Exactly as the case with Sinclair.
Cool. And the highlight for Marquis at IBC?
Well, the highlight, I think, is the integration with our partners. Yeah. It's the first time we've had our software running on LiveU. It's running on the Avid booth, and it's running on the Sony booth as well, which is a real achievement for a company our size.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. And where do you see the technology going in the next 12 months?
Well, I think there's been obviously a movement to more cloud, but I think it's no longer cloud for cloud's sake. Yeah. It's, let's really qualify and understand what we're doing in that space. Let's not overspend in the cloud, and let's get the balance right in terms of return on investment and how we run our operations.
Yeah. So are you seeing people are less likely to go fully cloud now?
I think there's still a case for hybrid cloud. I think a lot of people have made the jump. For example, transmission or libraries, that can make good sense. But there's still a lot of, the real world still exists on the ground. And there's still a place for that hybrid kind of workflow. So we work equally well on the ground, on-prem, in the cloud, or a mix of both.
Fantastic. So people that are at IBC can find you in Hall 7?
Yes.
If they're not at the show, where can they find out more about your solutions?
At www.marquisbroadcast.com.
Cool. Paul, thank you very much indeed.
Thanks,
do check out the website and visit them, of course, in Hall 7 if you're at IBC. For everything else that we're doing at the show, check out KitPlus.com.